Damn!
Today's build is another engine swap that takes the Nissan Fairlady Z and drops in the engine from the Nissan GTR Nismo GT500. This swap is just incredible. It's easily one of the better performing swaps out there. Honestly, it might be my favorite swap in the game right now, and there are some great ones out there like the 787B and the BMW Z4 swaps, just to name a few. This swap isn't new, it was added a few updates ago, but I just happened to get one on the 25th anniversary viewer campaign. The base car alone is amazing enough, and I've got multiple Z34s in my garage, but this swap improves its power, increases its range, and it's easily one of the easiest swaps to balance with a great tune. So that's what we're going to cover here today. As always, I cover tunes, engine swaps, and just GT7 content in general, so if you like this stuff and want more, please be sure to subscribe. So let's jump into it. Look-wise, the wide body kit on this car also makes it look incredible, and I've tuned this car to perform at Le Mans. As always, I'll provide a detailed summary, including tuning specs for your reference at the end of the video. So the Nissan Fairlady is so dominant, I'm torn between using this new swap with my daily race grinding or my previous favorite, the BMW M3. This car is just amazing, tuned to 700 performance points, it handles well, it looks good, and it just crushes everything else in the course. The best thing is you can run it at fuel mapping 1 for the entire race, which is really uncommon on swaps. I was able to take first place on lap 1 in Le Mans without much effort, and held it for the entire race. That means this car will perform regardless of the dynamic weather. I have no doubt that you can also tune this to multiple tiers, so feel free to take my base tune and adjust it up or down to whatever you need. So a bit about the Z34. This is the 6th generation Fairlady Z, and it made its debut in December 2008. Most people assume this was just a minor update to the Z33, but the 370Z was basically an all-new design. It's built on the same platform as the Infiniti G37, but the Z featured an aluminum hood, a door, a rear hatch that helped reduce its curb weight, and the new Z was incredibly nimble because it had a shorter wheelbase and a double wishbone suspension in the front and a multi-link setup in the rear. The Z34 was powered by a more powerful engine. Stock, this thing came with an output in a 330 horsepower range at about 7,000 RPM. For this swap, the GTR engine will give you about 527 horsepower, which is incredible considering the handling, aero, and lightweight of this model. The Z34 came with a 6-speed automatic or an option to get a 6-speed manual with single rev control, which adjusted the RPM when downshifting, eliminating the need for heel to toe when driving. So in terms of the tune, here's what we've come up with. An increase in the performance from 612 to just under 700. Horsepower is now 527, and the new car has 406 pounds of torque. Weight comes in at just 2,418 pounds. So acceleration, top speed, and cornering are all improved, and the stock car is already amazing. This tune does have a few permanent upgrades, and those include weight reduction stage 3 and increased body rigidity. Performance upgrades include a wide body kit from GT Auto, racing hard tires, along with wet and intermediate tires for Le Mans. I also installed wider wheels to go with a wide body kit, fully customized suspension, fully customized LSD, front and rear aero from GT Auto, a full control computer, a power restrictor and ballast, which wasn't used but it kept the car to play with additional performance levels, a fully customized racing transmission, and racing components including a muffler, brake and pads, brake balance controller, and clutch and flywheel. The brake balance controller is slightly weighted to the rear. For adjustments, I updated the body height and overall just tightened the suspension. Again, this car stock I like, but the steering I felt was too loose, so I added a bit more weight to it. The LSD isn't that active, but I added a bit of acceleration sensitivity to make powering out of corners more stable. This transmission does have some manual tuning to it, so pause the video if you want to get the exact gear ratios. It's tuned to max out on the Le Mans straight, and like I mentioned, this runs on fuel mapping 1, which is just incredible. You're basically driving it at the limit for the entire race, and it's just a joy to drive. So feel free to adjust the gear ratios if you want to run the track slightly differently. So now for the elephant in the room, every GT7 player has earned the right to get a swap like this in their garage. I hate the fact that you need to hope for good RNG to unlock an engine of your choice, so I hope this video isn't frustrating if you don't have this particular swap. If you're lucky to have it, I promise you'll love this tune. If you're still waiting for this one, it's definitely worth the wait, and it'll be that much sweeter when you finally get it. Until then, someone at PD needs to rethink their system because it's just horrible. With any luck, they continue the progress they made in 1.26, 1.27, and make some serious quality of life improvements. So let's talk about the race strategy. This one is super simple, just go full tilt. Plan to run a fuel mapping 1, as always adjust for the weather. I'd recommend you pick up both wet and intermediate tires for the car, just so you have options when you race and you can adjust accordingly. So just watch the weather and stay on the correct tires. You're going to crush the entire field with this thing. You can pick this one up from the dealership when you get a chance, and the engine swap will come from a roulette ticket. The car's only $44K. Honestly, buy a few of these things for your garage. It's that good. Trust me, there are a few cars I recommend buying multiples of and having at different thresholds. The Z34 is one of the best road cars in the game without the swap. One of my other favorites is the Corvette Z06, and even more recently, the Corvette C8. But because you can tune these cars on multiple levels, and just have some great road cars built for specific tracks. I do have a non-swap tune if people are interested. I even used this car for one of the human comedy missions. Just let me know if you like that tune, and I'll link it in the Discord or potentially make another video on it in the future. I've linked a video on engine swaps as well should you need more information. It covers the swaps and has the updated engine swap list in the pinned comments if you want to learn more. So just in summary, the original Z34 is already a great road car, but the swap just takes it to the next level. The GTR swap in this car makes it a credible racer, and it allows it to compete at a high level. In addition, the car just looks stellar and it sounds great. In terms of livery, this one is my own creation. I've shared and it's public if you want it. It's a custom dark metallic silver with some custom badging for the GTR, Nismo, and the performance parts. It's also not locked, so if you want to change the colors and adjust it accordingly, have at it. I've added some custom decals to clean up the front end and black out some of the trim to give it a more modern look and a more aggressive front and rear. I hope you enjoy this tune and it earns you considerable money in GT7. If you like these tunes, please like and comment below, as it greatly helps with the channel growth on YouTube, and it helps tell me what content you like more. If you're looking to connect with others around gaming in general, feel free to join our Discord. If you're looking for more info on GT7, tunes, or just general information around the game, it's a great community. As always, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.